Dr. Julius Erving, Hall of Famer, saying that he thought Markelle Fultz should not have been the #1 overall pick. It should have been JAYSON Tatum
Tough
at
words.
#1.
Groundbreaking stuff.
Tatum played really well tonight, obviously. Markelle Fultz has not played in these playoffs barely at all. He hasn't played in game 1 or 2 in this series. And then going back to Ben Simmons, he had 1 point in this game. He was the #1 overall pick.
1 more point than Markelle Fultz.
Last year.
1 more point than us.
The young guys, the rookies, what's going on with them?
What's going on with them? You start.
All right. Well, to me, I just think when JAYSON Tatum finds that rhythm, I mean, who can really stay in front of him? Whether we're talking about the jump shot, whether he's attacking the rim, I just feel like the Philadelphia 76ers, with the outside
footwork,
shooting from his teammates, from Rozier, from Marcus Smart, in game 2, I think that opens up the floor for him. And once he gets that first step ahead of his defender, he's just very tough to defend.
Yeah, Ben Simmons, he's been officially Brad Stevens'd. I think Giannis.
Wow.
I think
I like
Giannis
that
was
term.
to an extent.
I like that term.
I think Giannis obviously showed up, but he was also a little bit of a disappearing act overall in that series. I think he was nowhere near superstar level, and I think so far in this series, you're seeing that with Simmons. And after the game, Brad talked about just getting guys in front of him, putting bodies in front of him, preventing him from driving to that lane, getting a full steam ahead, because we already know that Ben Simmons doesn't want to shoot. We already know that Ben Simmons isn't even sure if he's a lefty or a righty.
Yeah.
So he's not about to put that to the test behind the arc right now.
He's trying to figure a lot of stuff out.
He won't sniff a three-point attempt this series.
He can lay off a good 10 feet.
Absolutely.
Easily 10 feet.
I would rather have, no knock on. Marcus Smart had a great game tonight, but I mean, Marcus Smart would get more space than Ben Simmons.
For sure.
Well,
would get less space than Ben
How
Simmons.
much of it is that, and how much of it is him just not forcing the issue? I mean, let's face it, 4 attempts in this game.
4 attempts is pathetic.
4 attempts in game 2.
4 attempts is pathetic.
And
Mental mush level.
Right, but then you couple the fact that he's had he had 5 turnovers. He had 7 in game 1. I mean, that's 12 turnovers in 2 games. I think it's getting in his head a bit. I think he's scared, maybe not scared, but maybe that's the wrong word, but I feel like he's very timid because of his mistakes. And then you couple the fact on top of that, the way they started things off from the beginning, J.J. Redick got going, Covington hit some big shots, Joel Embiid. It's almost like, wait, maybe these guys just need me to facilitate. But you see all the turnovers that are piled on. I think that he's sort of just in his own head at this point.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at this. The playoffs are so much different than the regular season. He's seeing Marcus Smart. He's seeing other defenders on him.
Marcus Morris, Shemi Ojale.
So many guys that are versatile. That are game planning against him. He has never seen that before. Yeah. So yeah, I would assume that he would be a little timid because he's only playing in his first year. Rookie.
Right.
Yeah.
Couple of things, or at least one thing I thought was really interesting after the game is Chris Mannix from Yahoo Sports asked. He was focusing in on the physicality that the Celtics are putting on Simmons, and Simmons was having absolutely nothing of it. In fact, he actually said that wasn't the case at all. He put the blame on himself, said it was mental, and he said that the physicality that the Heat put on him was on a quote-unquote another level. So I'm wondering how guys like Morris and Smart and Shemi and those guys are going to take that and say, oh, okay, I guess we're not being tough enough on you. You want us to be even more physical?
Let's double down on what we get in games 1 and 2.
But you had 4 shots, you had 5 turnovers. You looked completely out of your element from start to finish. This is a new experience for guys like Simmons and Embiid.
Right.
This is definitely a new experience for Fultz. I don't know how he's able to get the sleep he's able to get on the sidelines with the way that the loudness of the crowd tonight. I actually thought they were going to wake him up for like a couple seconds there. I thought he was going to come to on the sidelines.
He was snoozing for a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was snoozing. Honestly, listen, if Fultz didn't get any burn, tonight, with the way Simmons was playing, the fact that T.J. McConnell had an extremely well-played game, and Brett Brown after the game said he's basically going to ride or die with Ben Simmons. So Markelle Fultz isn't going to sniff the court, as far as I'm concerned, this series.
The last thing, Joe Sway, does that rise now JAYSON Tatum's stock in terms of his placing in the league? I mean,
1,000%.
Showing against, the #1 overall pick this year and last year?
Because he's putting these performances together on the big stage. And let's also not forget the fact that Ben Simmons, I mean, how much playoff experience does he have? Obviously
0.
not a lot, right? 0. You can say the same thing about Tatum, but let's think about what he did in college. Did LSU make big drives in the the tournament?
No, they didn't.
No.
Has he ever played in those type of situations? I mean, you have to factor in all those things, and also not forget the fact that this Garden, I mean, this place gets really loud when this crowd gets going. The Celtics feed off of it. The momentum completely swings over to the Celtics, and I just feel like he was just sort of deflated. But look for him to bounce back in game 1. Game 3.
Yeah, you just pretty much sealed it. I mean, Tatum's also struggled on the road, so I want to see how the Sixers players play at home, and I want to see how these Celtics guys respond on the road, because that'll be the true test.
All right, young guys, topic of discussion here in the playoffs. We'll see what happens with Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, and, of course, JAYSON Tatum.
We know what's going to happen with Markelle Fultz.